Well, I've been working in IT for over 20 years now, and there came a time where I began to feel like my career had become stagnant. And this may sound funny, but I began to watch the TV show Mr. Robot, which stars someone who works as a cybersecurity professional, and that piqued my interest, and that was basically what began my journey into moving toward a cybersecurity career. I began to look up all the things that I saw on the show, and that was what prompted me to move further. Well, when I began researching certifications, because I knew that certifications would be important for the career, I did a search online and I came across EC Council and all of the certification programs that they offer. And I saw the one that said Certified Ethical Hacker. And I have to admit that the name was very interesting to me because it was one of, I think, the only certification that has the word hacker in it. And I thought, well, this must be a good place to start. And I thought the logo was interesting, the C with the vertical line, and then the EH. And then I began to investigate further. Um, and so the other programs, of course, also caught my interest, but this looked like a good place to start. Well, during the course of the program, I began to learn so many of the things that entail security in terms of the programs that are used when doing pen testing, as well as the legal ramifications, what the law is required. The idea of ethical hacking would be that you basically would know what an adversary would know, except that you would use those skills, that knowledge, not to harm, but to protect. Almost like being a police officer for the internet in a sense. And I learned that things like what vulnerability management is, what a blue team is versus a red team, what was required for study in those areas. And all of these were a great benefit to me because it was a good jumping off point moving toward that place in my career. Well, one of the things when I earned the certification, my own office was very pleased to cover the cost of the exam for me, which I thought was great because it showed that they recognized how important the certification is. It's interesting to know that it's a widely accepted certification, that when I brought it up to my office that they knew immediately what it was, and saw the value of what it would do in my career in terms of the knowledge that I gained. So at this time, I am not working in the field as yet. I am hoping to be promoted to a security role at some point. The My office does recognize the certification as well, and so in that regard, when a position becomes available, hopefully I can take advantage of that. Well, it's given me the knowledge to that I'm able to share with other people. My office routinely tests everyone, including members of IT, with fake phishing messages so that we all are aware of what phishing attempts are, and are always kept on our toes. And that knowledge has helped me recognize what it means to come across a phishing attempt and how to safeguard against it, how to report it. And I'm able to also share this knowledge not only with members of my own office, but with people in my own personal life. And that to me has been especially rewarding. Yes, as I mentioned before, knowing the things that I know now because of the certification, I can train my own family. I can go out into my community, and for example, I could go to members of our senior community. Since phishing is such a constant thing each day, senior citizens are often the victims of phishing attempts and phishing attacks. And I'm able to go to people in my community and say, this is what you do to safeguard against such things. And it was only through this certification that I was able to safeguard myself and learn how to recognize such things so that I could be of service to people in my community as well as to people in my own office. I think my favorite part of the program was learning about social engineering. In the security world, the reality is that the biggest vulnerabilities are people themselves. When you are safeguarding a network, when you are doing anything in security, the truth is that it's the people who present the biggest vulnerabilities. And learning how to safeguard against social engineering attacks to me was the best part, because you can work with machines and technology and secure them as much as possible, but they are only secure as the people who work on them. And with the user community, social engineering is their biggest the biggest thing that they have to worry about, because it's easy to, unfortunately, to fool people sometimes. And so learning about how to protect yourself against social engineering attacks for me was the most important part. I definitely do. The success that I've received so far is due in large part to getting my certification from the EC Council. I'm very grateful for the information that I've learned, and I just want to say thank you to everyone at the EC Council who assisted me on my journey, and know that eventually I will plan to take the CEH Master, and when I get to that point, I will certainly be in touch.